Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Ben Morgan of the Fins Up Network. Today, man, I am just a huge NFL draft guy. So that's what we're focusing on today. It's going to be a 2022 first round NFL mock draft. This is going to be the first of multiple. I usually do probably anywhere from 5 to 7 mocks per year. So this is just kind of version one. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to highlight the Dolphins pick. Going to talk about some other picks, go in depth on a few of them that pertain a little bit more to the Dolphins, and go from there. But my ask of you is that when it comes up to the Dolphins pick, if you agree with the player that I have mocked to the Dolphins, go ahead, click the thumbs up, like that pick. If you disagree or if you think that there's another player that is worthy of that pick, go ahead, leave a comment on the player. I'm curious to see who you guys like as well. So with that, I'm going to share the screen here so you guys can see the first round mock. Pick number one, I got the Jags kind of doing the obvious thing here, just protecting the investment there of Trevor Lawrence with Evan Neal. 2 and 3 got a couple of edge rushers. And the thing we see with edge rushers in the draft, they usually get elevated up anyways, just because it's a premier player at a premium position. And these guys fit the mold. So taking them at 2 and 3, not a reach by any means. They'd fit in with any single team you have. And the Lions and Texans could both obviously use a couple of players on the edge. Got the Jets, first AFC East team in this mock. Going with Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame, potential replacement there for Marcus May if he ends up walking. Going to the Giants, I'm going with Ekwonu, and once again, kind of protecting the merchandise. If they're going to build around Daniel Jones, you obviously got to get some linemen for him. Panthers are tricky at 6 because I personally think that they should probably take a quarterback in this position, but this draft doesn't lend itself well to the quarterback position. So I'm going to give them a lineman. So when it comes time for them to find their franchise quarterback, if it's not Sam Darnold, they've got some people in front to protect him. Got the Giants going edge rusher. Got the first quarterback off the board there with the Falcons with Kenny Pickett. Got to have a plan behind Matt Ryan when the time comes. Got the Broncos going linebacker Devin Lloyd. The Jets second first rounder, another defender, Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State. Second quarterback off the board there to Washington, Matt Corral. Got the Vikings going edge rusher. The Browns going with running or wide receiver Garrett Wilson there at number 13. Lose OBJ halfway through the season in that move over to the Rams. Jarvis Landry appears to be on his way out, probably via trade. Got to bring in a guy. That team looked like they were kind of on the cusp of something there for a while. And now all of a sudden it's like, hey, outside of running back, where did our playmakers go? So you fill a spot there with arguably the best wide receiver in the draft. I'm going to spend a second on Trevor Penning there. Tackle from Northern Iowa. It's a perfect Ravens pick, honestly. And I know as Dolphins fans, we have a little bit of PTSD with first round offensive linemen. And while I'm on team, let's go all in on offensive linemen in free agency, let's say Penning falls to the Dolphins at 29. I'm not opposed to taking him. This dude is a mauler. He's huge. He obviously played at a smaller school, so it's kind of hard to judge those guys. But let's think about it this way as well. We got brand new coaching staff in, brand new offensive line coach. We can't completely rule out the idea of taking linemen in the first round. So if Penning would to fall, he'd be one of the top players that I would be targeting. Obviously, he doesn't here. Got Sauce Gardner, top nickname in the draft by all means. Cornerback out of Natty, going to the Eagles, and then following it up with Jordan Davis. Stingley to the Chargers, another quarterback there. Malik Willis going to the Saints, getting protection up front there at number 19 for the Eagles. Charles Cross to Pittsburgh is interesting. I've actually seen a mock with Cross going as early as number 1 overall to Jacksonville. But Steelers, I don't want to call it an outright rebuild, but when you need a quarterback, that's probably their top priority this offseason. But in this scenario, there's not a quarterback there worth the pick. You protect up front, you get a guy for when that quarterback comes into play. I am going to take a second to talk about Nakobe Dean at 21 because along with Penning, this is a guy that I would like the Dolphins to target in the first round. Obviously, in this specific situation, he's not falling far enough. But he's that perfect modern day linebacker, though. He's athletic. He's got the speed to go sideline to sideline. Look at the Georgia defense. I mean, that was their calling card that led them to the national championship this last year. You're going to see a bunch of former Bulldogs go early in the draft, and Dean obviously is going to be one of those guys. So keep an eye on him as a Dolphins fan. I got the Raiders going wide receiver with Burks at 22. Clemson going with Andrew Booth at 23. Cowboys adding an edge rusher at 24. Another AFC East team here with the Bills taking Winfrey at 25. He was the MVP of the Senior Bowl. You don't want the Bills to get a great player in this draft, but unfortunately, he fell to him here and hopefully isn't a thorn in the Dolphins' side for years to come. Chris Olave at 26 is probably one of my favorite picks in this mock. Think about the Titans offense right now. The Julio Jones thing kind of flopped, I would say, in year one, but you already have one of the best running backs in Henry. Now, if you're pairing Olave and A.J. Brown, I think they complement each other just perfectly. Get that team a damn quarterback. I know we all have this thing with Tannehill. I don't want to just completely crap on him right now, but that's a nice formidable pairing at wide receiver. Got the Bucs go in with defensive tackle. The Packers are a team I struggle with. To take a wide receiver in round one, it just happened that Jamison Williams fell to this spot. But the Packers don't take a first round wide receivers. It's just what their calling card is. They just don't do it. But there's a little bit of uncertainty yet with Adams and how that situation plays out. It just felt almost too good to pass up at this point in time, which brings you to number 29, where the Dolphins are. John Dotson, wide receiver, Penn State. So we're looking at a 5'11", about 185-pound wide receiver. In 12 games last year, 91 catches, nearly 1,200 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Pretty damn good stats. And one of the things you'll see when you flip on the tape from him is route running. He's not the best route runner in the world. He's not Jerry Jeudy, but I would say he's good to above average. But where he excels is that body control. When he goes up for a ball, given his frame especially, he has unbelievable body control where he's able to snatch the ball, find the sideline, or know where the defender is and be able to come down with it, protect the ball. And his hands are solid. I think he was only charted with 2 drops all of last year. So you got a guy with reliable hands, pretty solid at route running, excellent body control. And the thing that you got to add to this is his separation. We heard about it all NFL draft process last year. Tua needs wide receivers that can create separation and do it fast. You got Jalen Waddle. That's what he excels at. Jahan Dotson isn't Waddle speed-wise, but he can create separation fairly quick off of the line of scrimmage as well. So think back to Tua and his Bama days where they excelled the most. Quick slants, get the ball in the receiver's hands, let him create after the catch. That's exactly what you can do with Dotson. I mean, go back to those Bama days. You had Jeudy who could do it. You had Ruggs. You had Waddle. You had Devontae Smith. You have all these guys. So now if you're going to get to the Dolphins, like kind of like new age offense where it's we just need a bunch of rack guys. We need to run after the catch guys. Dotson can be that. When he does get the ball in his hands, he's not elite with running after the catch, but he's not bad at it either. So just get the ball in his hands because he can create separation and let him go to work after that. So like I said, this is only version 1. This pick will probably change a couple of times as we continue to go on and do more mocks. But for right now, the pick is Dotson. And then rounding out round 1, you got the Chiefs addressing cornerback. You got the Bengals addressing the offensive line, which, as we saw from the Super Bowl, absolutely needs some addressing. And then the Lions taking, hopefully, their franchise quarterback with Sam Howell to round out the end of the first round. So that's it. Mock draft number 1 right there in the books. Dolphins action, obviously taking Jahan Dotson. Like I said, if you like it, go ahead and click like. If you have another player in mind, leave a comment. Let me know who you guys like. That's all of it for today. Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on a damn thing. And stay tuned because we're going to have more NFL draft coverage coming up in the not so distant future. Got some great guests lined up that's going to talk more in depth on prospects fit with the Dolphins, just kind of what the rumblings are and the players that the team will be targeting. So until next time, see you later.